Welcome, race fans, back to SVR. My name is Webbo here to bring you today's race as usual. We are here for the G1 race, and we are getting ready for a fantastic run around Spa-Francorchamps. We're not going to qualify today, so no qualifying today, but we are getting ready to race with us. Here is the championship as things stand right now. Arya is on top by just 1 point from Wask, with Dirtbag Larry in P3. VRX8 is in fourth, just 2 ahead of Tequila Monkey in fifth. Nicky Lauda is in sixth with Nasty in seventh. Red, Bijan, Patfin, Apex, Mo, Piscary, and Uncle Pants make out our top drivers in the 14 permanent seats. Piscary winning last time out on his debut, with 3 wins for Wask so far. We also have the mouth-watering prospect of having a certain Vader here to race with us today for his team. Our new team, Semrad Audio Racing, are 125 ahead of Azul, Argento, Obsidian, PSV, Katana, and Hector Motorsports. Talking of Semrad Audio, Zelen is gone. It is now the era of the new franchise owner, Semrad Audio. So that is the new team standings, the new team on the grid, of course. Welcome back to everybody. Nice to have everybody with you here. I'm very happy to see the admin with Johaz, Chris, Bummy, Thump, Woody, and everybody else who has been able to join us. Do say hi. I will keep my eye on the chat for you. If you do happen to want to see the non-Hector and customized multi-POV setup that I've got going like this, then do get in, head over to the alternate stream link that is pinned to today's stream. So if you've got a giant screen and you want to be able to see everybody, then you can go ahead and watch that one in tandem or separately. It's completely up to you. We're getting ready for the race, though. We'll be going for traditional Hector layout as long as Hector allows us to anyway. Yeah, we will try to keep an eye on everybody and everything that's going down. We've got the return of Patfin and Wask today. We have 32 laps of Spa with a 24-hour day-night cycle awaiting us. Can't wait to see exactly how we do. I didn't realize Run DMC was going to be running today. So I could have got an extra stream in there. If we're really, really happy, then I will do my best to. If we really want to, I'll try and get a camera on that separate screen as well. But I might just make that for members only. We will see exactly how things go. But yeah, we're getting ready. Hopefully, Vader with his traditional joke to start the track change request. But yes. I love to see the fact that Rizbak's getting at me about my lack of in-game credits is now spreading, and it's not just Rizbak roasting me on this one. Yeah, I hope you all enjoy yourselves anyway. Reverse championship order, by the way, for the permanent drivers. Reverse drivers go at the absolute back of the grid. Following a request, I'm going to have driver names on for as long as we have our Hector working. Vader will start right at the back with Run DMC, because with Michael as well for reserving, and the drivers are getting ready in this order to get us underway. It's Uncle Pants who gets the gifted pole position ahead of Piscary, Bijan, and Finn. We get ready then to go racing. It's drop the clutch. It's go, and screaming down the 24-hour layout, of course, here at Spa-Francorchamps. BP helmet for Piscary as he heads up towards Eau Rouge and Radion. It looked like Finn and Bijan was neck and neck on the way in, as it was Piscary chasing down Uncle Pants in the two Porsches here. The Tortoro behind the Hector Motorsports crew. Piscary, our newcomer, winning on his debut as he heads up to head towards that famous Lecom circuit. Uncle Pants defending hard to the inside line. Will he pay dearly for that one as Red goes down the inside of Bijan in the Katana AI Motorsports Ferrari 296. Red with the undercut going into Malmedy corner. No way through, but it's very busy behind as Niki Lauda goes sprinting around the outside of VRX. I think we've got 3 wide heading in towards Rivage corner, and Nasty in the lead of this group in P6. Niki Lauda in 7th. VRX trading positions with Nicky with a snap on the rear for Nicky. He's going to have to duck out of that one, but he tags the back of VRX, rescues it for now. And we see exactly how Vader gets underway here. Vader at the back on P13, made it 1 position on his main rival from S1. It's Run PMC at the moment in the Argento colours, but Uncle Pants leads the way through in P1 ahead of Piscary and Pat Finn in the McLaren in the brand new livery for SimRad Audio. We've got a very heavily customized, glorious approach here to the liveries. Do check out SimRad Audio, won't you? And their website. Post-race, of course, I'll try and drop that in the description before we're done today. It's Bijan in 5th. Nasty looking for the run down the inside. Nicky in a slightly difficult position of trying to hassle Nasty, who is hassling in turn his teammate as we continue then all the way down through the run. I'd tell you what, we're going to try and give you some Vader stream on the view here, because I'm sure that our audience are dying to see Vader and his progress through the race as we continue through. It's Uncle Pants, Piscary and Pat Finn as they head into the bus stop for the very first time of asking, and it is absolutely anybody's at the tail end of the field. Larry's got a penalty and we've got a spin. We've got a spin out for Vader there as he gets very, very caught up on the run down into the corners. Let's have a look then at Vader as he goes in. He's trying to keep it fairly calm and casual here. It looks like a fair bit of lag on the car, but a run around the outside of Tequila Monkey, resuming their battle from season 1 of our official season. It's Uncle Pants ahead of Piscary. It's Pat Finn who can't quite match the top speed of the Porsches up the run over the top of Radion. But look at Nasty, Bijan and Wask who go running down that long camel straight, shadowing through 5th, 6th and 7th. They've reversed order. Bijan down the inside of Nasty. Can he make it through? Not quite. Bijan just content with hanging back for now. Nicky in 9th, and we've got VRX in 10th position. Dirtbag Larry still hasn't paid that penalty. Run DMC in 12th. Tequila Monkey in 13th, and Vader down in 14th and last position at the moment, at least. We are looking at a 2, if not 3 stop strategy for the majority of our drivers to date. I would imagine those that have started early and started very fast. That is a scary sight, the fact that Piscary is on the hard tyres. Piscary didn't need, after Laguna Seca, to be put in a position like this, to be gifted a position away here. That is not what we needed to put him at the front of the grid after his run there through the fabulous Laguna Seca race. The top 3 really distancing themselves now from Red, from Wask, from Nasty, who run about 3.5 seconds back there. Jailhouse Chris not happy with one of our drivers. You can see already there. Yeah, we have to run through. Then it's down the way through in towards Blanchimont we go. Red with those little red accents on the car. Wask forced around the outside of Blanchimont, but what a run from Wask round the outside. We'll have another check on that one because that was pretty special. I think a lot was built from his exit from the previous corner through and out of Stavolo. And then the run through Blanchimont was well timed around the outside. Red did everything he could to make it through and make life difficult for Wask. But it's Uncle Pants ahead of Piscary and Finn, as we mentioned up front, as they head down into last source corner. Red on the defensive. Nasty trying around the outside. Michael is going to try and sneak down the inside. It's not a bad circuit for drivers called Michael, is it? In the Lamborghini for the Azul Racing team. They continue then. It's Michael in P7 on his debut with us. VRX in 8th, Bijan in 9th. And further back, we've got Niki Lauda, Dirtbag Larry, Tequila Monkey, Run DMC, and Lord Vader, of course, after that spin. It's Uncle Pants, though, leading on the medium tyres ahead of Piscary on the hards. Finn also on the medium tyres and trying to keep things organised and running as smoothly as they possibly can at this start of the race. 3.3 seconds back to Wask, who after clearing Red has absolutely distanced Red like he's driving a different category. Michael to the inside of Nasty here into the double right-hander of Stavolo as we head on the way out. Vader Stream Frozen, thank you very much for the info there. Yeah, it's a funny one. We'll give you a bit of Larry, shall we? Instead, I like to make sure that the drivers towards the back are able to run A-OK, but I am struggling, I think, here right now to run the Hector feeds. It's very odd. It does appear to be running a little bit too long and slowly for us. I don't quite know what has been going down with Hector lately. Unfortunately, I'm trying to bring you everything I can. It may be my internet resources are struggling right now. That could well be the issue. So we'll stick with things as they are right now. It's Uncle Pants, Piscary, Finn, and Wask with Red, Nasty, and Michael not far behind. We have got 3 drivers not on Hector. So that is going to be quite tricky for everybody to follow. You can follow the Hector engineer view on the link at the top of the live chat today, if you so wish. I'm trying to give you everything you can to enjoy the races with us. Here, that looks like, is that Red dropping back for a second there? It's not terminal. I think that's just a transponder issue as they run through. Uncle Pants leading, Piscary and Finn at the front of the grid. Wask is chasing them down very, very quickly. We'll go check that out as we see these drivers come through here. Well, I could just see in the foreground, in the background there, as it were, that Wask is not quite close to Finn just yet. As we run, we'll ride here, I think, with Nasty on the bonnet from behind. We've got a clear run behind. Both Katana AI racing team cars are directly behind this group, but very equal through Eau Rouge and Radion this time round. Red trying to stop Michael going for the inside line. Michael will go for it, though, I think. Kind of forced into a situation there. Red cannot turn in. Red was very early on the brakes, so early that Nasty ended up getting into him, and I think Red ended up tagging Michael as well. We'll have a look from that from a slightly different camera angle, shall we? But it did look like Red was very early on the brakes. Here, you've got Nasty on the soft tyres, though. That might be making a difference, and it's just ping-pong between the drivers there for a second. As we head back to the main racing action, then it is. Let's check out where Wask is at the moment relative to Pat Finn, his teammate, both on the same tyres. Don't forget, we've got Michael on the medium tyres, Nasty on the softs, and Red explaining why he was early on the brakes. He is on the hard tyres, so he's had some trouble getting the same braking action. VRX tries to split the Katana AI racing team cars and manages to do so. VRX up to P9 here. Remember, of course, would have started near the back of the grid thanks to our reverse grid for today's 32-lap endurance race here around the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Nice and easily done there, and smoothly does it from VRX. He's attacking Bijan already in the Peugeot RCZ. Bijan on the hards. I think Nicky likewise is also on the hard tyres. Big difference in strategy today. Like I say, it's a 2 or a 3 stopper, we believe, as Nicky comes through to head in, and Nicky and Tequila Monkey in 11th position. Vader up to P12, and we've got Dirtbag Larry in 13th. Run DMC in P14 so far. Anyway, hope all is a-okay with everybody, and you're able to enjoy the racing with us. I hope that all is going all right for you all. That is the look of Uncle Pants then, who has managed to put a gap here on Piscary because Pat Finn has got by Piscary and Wask is chasing him down. We'll have a quick check as to whether we can catch Pat Finn doing that. We cannot. I think it was through the bus stop. So Pat Finn now, Wask follows through, but can he make it to the second apex? He can. Finn was slow, and they've let Piscary by once again. Piscary comes through. Incredible sequence there from our drivers here. As Wask goes down the outside, Finn brakes quite early, but he outbrakes himself and ends up boxing in Wask. Piscary says, thanks, guys. Semrad Audio not enjoying perhaps the look of that one for their debut here. But Wask back in front of Pat then, although that will not last very long at all. You have to question whether both Semrad Audio drivers might have communicated that one a little bit more clearly. 1 second penalty for Wask there. That will be a significant track cut for him. Michael has gapped Nasty in P6. Michael in 5th. Nasty in P6 ahead of Red, followed by VRX, Bijan, Nicky, Tequila Monkey, with Vader in 12th position on the medium tyres as well. Dirtbag Larry has had a pretty major off. Dirtbag Larry has hit front and back of the car and has caused damage to it, unfortunately. So yeah, that's a big problem for him there. Right, okay. Take stock for a moment. There's been so much action at the start of this race. Run DMC's been off the circuit and crashed as well, unfortunately. So he has damaged the car. It is Uncle Pants, Piscary, followed by Pat Finn, who's got back in front of teammate Wask. That'll be down to the issue there with the penalty that he had. We've got, is that Nasty in the pit lane? I think it might be Nasty in the pit lane. It is Nasty in the pit lane already on just lap 6 as the clouds start to gather above as well. Remember, this is a track where we can often expect a whole lot of rain. So it really is absolutely anybody's here. And yeah, I hope everybody is enjoying our coverage so far. We are trying to do our best here for you, give you every option available. I may be overreaching slightly with the capability of everything, but hopefully the mainstream is not affected in a negative way. Let me know if the Hector display is useful or less than useful at this stage of proceedings, and I will try and make sure that everybody's enjoyment is as close to optimal as possible. So far then, Uncle Pants, Piscary, and Finn await the next run then in the sequences P6 lap 6 of 32 as we continue then with Wask trying to catch back to Pat Finn. Another 1 second penalty on Wask's car. What is Wask doing that is picking up so many penalties at this stage? We've got a very busy circuit further back as Vader tries to get Bijan here. Vader on the mediums. I think Bijan was on the hard tyres and is significantly slower here than Vader, who races, of course, normally in S1. He's here for his Team Obsidian reserve duties today. Absolutely legitimate because he's a top-tier S driver, and he's replacing a top-tier G driver, as it were. Hi to Andre as well. I hope no one was tuning in late because they're expecting to miss qualifying. I'm not sure how well we communicated the lack of qualifying. Of course, it's been on the website as 1 minute of qualifying for quite a long time here. Yeah, we are continuing very, very nicely at this stage. Dirtbag Larry in 12th, Run DMC in 13th, Nasty in 14th after the first of the expected scheduled pit stops there. Nasty down in 18th position, but Piscary has re-caught Uncle Pants as perhaps the medium tyres are dropping off here. So the head of our field, it is Uncle Pants, but only by half a second at this point, as Piscary will try and follow him through Eau Rouge and Red. He'll not get too close through those two corners and be in a position to get a great slipstream on the run up the hill. I'm sure that is the big plan right now to make this work as much as he possibly can. Finn is in P3, Michael in 4th, and Wask with that 1 second penalty back down to P5. Wask, unfortunately for him, missing out on our championship lead at this stage, thanks to not being able to compete last time. Wants to pick up again with his. He had a 3-race winning streak before he took a break for I think Mother's Day to make sure that his mum was well well looked after. It's Nicky in 7th. It's Tequila Monkey now in 8th position here. And Tequila on the hard tyres has really come alive now that the medium runners are struggling. Nicky's also on the hards, though, by the way. So perhaps Tequila Monkey playing a pretty canny race so far, taking his time to bring the speed in and be quicker at the middle to end point of the hard tyre stint. That's how he went about winning his S1 2023 Season 1 World Championship, of course. Tequila Monkey, very consistent over the season as VRX, Bijan and Vader continue on through. Back to the head of the field as Piscary is following Uncle Pants, continuing now through Blanchimont, will be in striking distance, 0.3 of a second away on the way through Blanchimont. But it does extend slightly as they run through that fast, flat-out corner. Down towards the bus stop we go. Pat Finn, very impressive so far this race, as he is managing the run very nicely. A bit of apex curb for Michael. Rear end of the Lamborghini steps away from him slightly there. And the gap then from Wask in P5 to Red in P6 is 5.2 seconds. Red on the hard tyres here, as is Tequila Monkey. And Nicky Lauda goes for a spin, unfortunately, as the hard tyres start to die on the exit of the bus stop. Tequila Monkey had already made his way through here. And we will just check out Nicky. Bit narrow, perhaps, the second part. I know that this is Red's favourite track as well here today. I'm sure it has a special place in Nicky's heart. As Dirtbag Larry in the very quiet BMW M4 GT3 is in P12, Run DMC in 13th, and Nasty in P14, as we've mentioned. So we've got a Hector Motorsports bookended situation right now for the grid. Uncle Pants leading. He was gifted the pole position for being last in the championship, but so far has been holding on very nicely. Lap 8 of the 32. No sign of any wet weather at this stage, of course, but we continue to keep an eye on those clouds above the Tortoro Porsche, followed by the brand new Samrad Audio McLaren here. Piscary, 0.2 of a second only. He's very quick in the middle sector of this raceway. Unfortunately, it's harder to pass in the middle sector than the first and third sectors, of course. So the top three are closing in. Those clouds looking pretty threatening there as the drivers head due west on the way into the way between Leifania in and out. And Uncle Pants then leading this one on the Hector Motorsports purple Porsche in front of the gold and black Tortoro PSV racing car. Piscary, sensational debut in the previous round, of course. Laguna Seca, Finn in P3, missed that race. So did his teammate Wask. Wask has dropped back behind Red now. Wask's pace dropping like a stone here, unfortunately, on those medium tires. Lap 5 was a bad one for him, but he's some 4 seconds slower than he's been before. He keeps picking up those penalties, though, and that's not helping matters at all. Tequila Monkey only 5 seconds away from Wask. VRX is still very much in the mix, though, 20.4 seconds away from the lead of the race at this stage. Behind them, Vader up from the very back of the grid in P10. He's now gone onto the medium tires. Apologies for that siren, as Nicky Lauda will pass Vader. So he will switch out of those tires onto the hard tires, presumably now, Vader, as the fuel starts to really wear off in a big way. Typically, the Peugeot RCZ is a lot more fuel economic, especially than the BMWs. Dirtbag Larry in, so both Obsidian cars in, as is the Michael driving the Aria car today. So very interesting to see. Here we go. Piscary down the inside of Uncle Pants. Didn't see how it began, but we sure saw how it ended. Fast through that middle sector on the switchback section, and Piscary down into Rivage corner takes Uncle Pants then. For the first time, Uncle Pants has lost the lead of the race, and it's all the way through to lap 9 of the 32. Piscary keeping hold of that inside line, and then the middle of the road on the way out of the corner. Now it's Pat Finn's turn to close in and possibly make a pass through here, as he will suffer with the McLaren in top speed, even to the Porsche. Piscary now has the chance to put some daylight between himself and the chasing pack, especially in the championship. Uncle Pants front left tyre completely gone, more so than the McLaren of Pat Finn. We'll get up close and personal with this livery later on when the cars start to spread out, if indeed that actually happens. Thump saying Finn's tyres are almost completely gone. Well, I have to say Uncle Pants are even worse right now. Front pack are all going to pit very soon. Don't forget, though, Piscary is on the hard tyres, so he won't be pitting particularly soon. And are we both going in the pit lane? No, Finn is going to stay out here. Uncle Pants goes in. Red in fourth has had a bit of a slow one in comparison to Wask that time through. Wask finally decides then to pit his tyres in a similar state to Pat Finn's. And I hope that Pat Finn hasn't left this one lap too long. The drivers don't have to pause a pit stop if their teammate is in, by the way. In fact, Tequila Monkey in the Lamborghini in on the hard tyres at the same point that the drivers are in on them from their mediums. So Tequila has been ragging those tyres like crazy. Bijan then started on the hards, is now up to P5. Don't forget, it is the 24-hour layout. So the run out of the pit lane is achingly long. Red finally rejoins there at the top of the hill, essentially, after Eau Rouge and Radion. So Bijan will pick up that position into P4. Red is 11.7 seconds away from Piscary on the same tyres. Pat Finn, a 2:23 last lap. Can Pat Finn keep it on the island effectively? I think that's going to be the major challenge on this 10th racing lap. Bijan in P4, Nicky in P5, and Uncle Pants then out of the pit lane, up and over the hill. You see this long way around. You've still got to be careful not to cross the white line on the way out. Michael will have the better run, I would imagine, be up to speed here. Nasty is catching Uncle Pants. Such is the speed differential here. Nasty is right with Michael. Nasty's gone by, and Nasty's on his second set of tyres, I believe. That he must be. So Nasty has managed to undercut his teammate, who started at the front of the grid, thanks to changing onto tyres and going for a more aggressive setup. It's a big gain for Nasty. Big loss in antithesis to that, to Uncle Pants. Let's check out where Piscary is on track. Pat Finn still very much keeping it steady. His best lap so far, a 2:21.004. Hi to Mladen Grabusic from Croatia, who is here for VRX, a Croatian team, always here for their compatriot. Good to have you with us. Red is in P3, Bijan in fourth position. Then Red, looks like the blinkers were on Red's car. He's gone into the pit lane. Bijan will presumably outlast Red here and stay on out of the pit lane. Nicky is trying to drive with that damage and make use of the hard tyres. Nasty ahead of Michael for 6th and 7th positions. Michael having a really good debut run here. But of course, Piscary rewrote the book on good debuts. Certainly set the standard there and the previous round of the championship. Wask is out of the pit lane in P9. Let's see where he emerges, or at least where his teammate emerges after the pit stop. 2nd, 3rd, 4th positions, all pitting. Bijan has a turn in the lead for the Katana AA Racing team, as Nicky Lauda will also then take 2nd position. Bijan and Nicky Lauda protecting those tyres, not necessarily protecting their front splitter there. As Yank says, my heart beats for Bijan and Nicky. So a great moment, Yank, to join in the live chat, of course. This is Pat Finn on his way out of the pit lane. Where will he be relative to his teammate? He's actually managed to undercut Piscary, who filled the tank full of fuel and has gone on to a set of medium tyres. Finn is going for a sprint section here. It's golden hour as the sun goes through towards setting. The shadows have elongated considerably. Pat Finn has gone for the soft tyres and a light fuel load to try and sprint away, keep that awesome run going. We've got the run here for Pat Finn. Try and keep that clear air in front of him here, and hold on as well as he can. Pisker in P4, Nasty in 5th ahead of Michael and Uncle Pants. Wask, though, pretty disastrous, you have to say, timing of that pit stop for Wask. He's ended up behind 3 cars he was previously in front of. Uncle Pants, 7.3 seconds back to Wask. It's not all over for Wask. The headlights are on the Porsche already here, and the Lamborghini as well. So we must be getting a little bit darker. I have increased the lights, the ambient light setting, because we're going to be heading into the night conditions. Let me know if everything is a-okay for the stream, for the Hector stream. You can keep you're able to follow the race okay with the gamer tags on the driver names on top of the cars. Is that helping here to see where the drivers are relative to one another? I know we've got a few drivers who haven't connected to Hector today. Always value your feedback. Try and keep it positive or at least constructive. We've got Red in Night, Tequila Monkey in 10th here on their second set of tyres, respectively. Red started on the hards. Tequila Monkey did likewise. Both gone on to mediums now with VRX there. Bijan finally pits. We're getting a beautiful Spa sunset now as Vader's in P12. He is 32.6 seconds away from the lead of the race, but trying to pick up as many points for his missing regular season G1 driver. Dirtbag Larry is the teammate today for Vader, and they will be enjoying a bit of team radio, I think, right now, as Run DMC is at the very back of the grid, almost 1 minute behind the leader right now. But Run DMC likewise reserve driving today for our run as we head through. Then it is Pat Finn who's got by Nicky Lauda, and Piskery now bullying Nicky to try and find his way by, lighting up the rear of the car, looking to the left, looking to the rear, and Piskery's made his way by very comfortably there on those medium tyres, powering him up and over the hill. Nicky not fighting it too hard. He's got damage and old hard tyres on. Yank liking the driver name tags. So that's good, as we've got Bijan pitting, coming out behind Dirtbag Larry. I can see if I look up anyway at this point. It looks like for some reason my engineer view on my phone isn't working. I think I'm going to have to get the phone app, which I haven't got yet. I'm trying to keep an eye on driver movements throughout here. Nicky on a 2-stopper says Rents. He did tease that earlier on, but you never know whether that's a bluff or not from a driver pre-race. The sun is setting very, very quickly, and this obviously the gamer tags will help with that. No end. I always feel like it's a little bit overly computer gamey. I like to feel like it's a motor race, but I do understand that it's easier to track, especially in the dark like this. There is Red with the yellow headlights on the Porsche in P8, 14.2 seconds away from the lead of the race. We've got Tequila Monkey in 9th, VRX in 10th. Vader catching both Tequila and VRX at this stage. Vader with a 2:19 that last lap, his personal best, having put the mediums, not even the soft tires on. Vader on a charge right now, and you love to see it. You love to see Vader on a fast run here. Always good to see, especially if he's showing up in the GT3s as well. Larry in 12th, Bijan in 13th, Run DMC at the tail of the field. Here is the lead, though. It's Pat Finn enjoying some clear air for the time being. Of course, he might be a minute behind the last rider on the course, but because this is Spa, it's going to be 2 minutes plus before he's actually able to see him. Nasty in P3. Michael chasing him down then on the run, down after La Source, down to the dip of Eau Rouge, up and over Radion, as Michael's car is so much better hooked up through this Spa first sector. Front end responding beautifully on the Lamborghini. He will go side by side here with Nasty, who is too experienced in a driver to leave the inside lane open to him. Uncle Pants could benefit here, although he's got a half-second off throttle penalty to pay. If he can get ahead of Michael, that is going to help. Nasty here in defense. Piscary still in second. This is the battle for the tail end of the podium as things stand. We won't know where things are with the rest of the strategy until the last few laps. Just have to enjoy this as it develops. There is Wask in P6 picking up the pace now. Fastest lap of anybody on lap 12 on the medium tyres. He hasn't gone for a different set of tyres yet, but you do have to use 2 dry compounds of tyre unless it rains here. Then you've got Red in 7th, Tequila Monkey in 8th. I'm just wondering how far away Vader's time was. It was only 0.2 of a second away from the regular season former championship leader and triple race winner, Wask. Vader is just 0.3 of a second away on the same compound of tyre at the same portion of the race. So very, very tight. I do want to see Wask versus Vader as much as possible. Our 2 certified alien drivers dominating their respective top tier of our SVR SimRacing VR World Championship here. It's Tequila Monkey in 8th, VRX in 9th as things stand. And Vader has now a just 0.2 of a second penalty. Was that for a second? No, it was just ticking by as he paid the penalty off. Dirtbag Larry in 11th, Bijan in 12th, Nicky Lauda in 13th, out there having made his first pit stop and come out. He's now 1 minute and 2 seconds away from the leader. Although, if rumours are to be believed and the driving pace so far of Nicky to be understood, he looks like he is possibly on a 2-stop strategy, which is the harder and slower race pace strategy overall. Pat Finn leads ahead of Piscary, and good to see everybody still running at this point. It is we have just to say hi to Kim and to AMAC, who join at the same time to cheer on Azul Racing. Don't you just love watching drivers handling these race cars at night? Let's see how this looks from on board of Nasty's car. Vader looks like he's got by Tequila Monkey. Let's have a look. I think that might be down for P9, is it? It is. Tequila Monkey out of the pits, out of the pit lane, and Vader will find his way by. I think just the overspeed. You just can't build up the same level of speed. Well, it's very, very tight on the way into Lake Comp. These two have been fighting on track for years, but Vader did eventually get by. And then he runs a little bit wide out of Jackie X or No Name Corner and heading in towards Puon now to the left. Don't touch that inside curve if you can help it. And riding on board then with Tequila Monkey, as we should be able to hear a little bit of distant noise from Vader's BMW, although it is a very quiet car. Should be focusing most the sound on the Lamborghini. Tequila Monkey pushing hard, a little bit of dirty air coming off the back of the car in front. But this is the challenge that the drivers face, thanks to being both in VR and the dead of night here. Beautiful night sky above the drivers. No concerns at the moment about rain. I haven't seen anybody with any kind of weather indicator. I don't know if we've got any weather meteorologists in the live chat today can give any update. But Pat Finn does pit now. Remember, Pat Finn going for a short soft tyre stint there on light fuel. So he's come in, Piscary back to the lead of the race as he comes by the pit lane. And then we've got a fabulous battle pack here. Michael getting all crossed up on the way through La Source, following Nasty on the way on the run through there. So Michael P3, Nasty in P2 as we run through this beautiful Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Do just want to check in on how everybody is enjoying the various streams today. Michael in P4, Wask in P5 now, and that is Michael down the inside, trying to hold on here. Uncle Pants going around the outside, becomes the inside into the Lake Com and then Malmedy corner sequence. Michael, a little bit of contact with Uncle Pants. Wask will hope to take advantage of the two of them fighting. Wask puts the McLaren down the inside in his brand new Semrad audio color scheme. And he makes his way by Uncle Pants. Don't forget, Uncle Pants had the pole position. Wask was a little bit further back and is gaining positions hand over fist throughout the course of this race, albeit he is 17 seconds away from the lead. But while Arya is not here, Wask needs to maximize the points available in this championship run. He would love to be able to take the challenge to the newcomer Piscary, but it might be out of sight here because Piscary has both the speed and the front row start today. So he does have a significant advantage today. Look at this as they run in towards Stavolo now. And that is Red on the back of the group as well. Love to see so many cars fighting hard. I know how much Red loves this circuit. If ever we're doing a social race and someone says, where should we go race? You'll be sure that Red will pipe up and say, Spa. So we know exactly how much he's keen on this. He knows every inch of the racetrack and the track limits and where to borrow extra bits of asphalt. Down into the bus stop. Nasty, very deep on the brakes. That kind of boxes Red out slightly, but Red wise to it. Nasty heading, I think, into the pit lane. He is heading into the pit lane, so Red was caught out there, but Nasty was late on the brakes and trying to turn into the pit lane. Bit of a tough situation for Red, but he handled it very nicely indeed. This is on the very front splitter of Michael. Just looking back, you can see Red. We'll see if we can gain any positions. You get this amazing tunnel vision effect with the headlights lighting up kind of what you want to see, but sometimes not what you want to see. Will Uncle Pants get away with that one? He must have lifted over the top of Radion. I think he did. No, he didn't get away with it. That's a 1 second penalty on the car for Uncle Pants here. So that is pretty tough to take. Heading down into Lake Con side by side. Uncle Pants continuing to fight like a lion here, despite the fact that he's got that penalty. He knows his and his teammates' races are best served keeping people behind as much as he can, because of course it is only going to help Nasty, who has just gone into the pit lane. Michael running side by side on his debut here. Will he be able to go around the outside of Jackie Ick's corner? Oh, that's so close. Michael just on the curb on the outside. They're still side by side. Michael's got the tail ahead on the way into Pouon corner. And it's next up to pass Uncle Pants will be Red. Don't be too impatient because you can see the penalty marker on the car in front if you've got your race information in VR. But Red makes his way by very easily from Uncle Pants, who still hasn't paid that penalty. VRX is in 6th. Vader from 14th is in 7th place now. As we continue through the course of our race, we've just hit the halfway point of the race here for these racers. And it's Tequila Monkey in 8th place, Dirtbag Larry in 9th. Finn in 10th. He's made that pit stop, refueled, filled the car up and put on the medium tyres. So he may be trying to avoid using the hard tyres today, Finn. We will see on the strategy. Bijan in P11, Nicky Lauda in 12th. Nasty at the near the back at the moment. Can't even see where he is because our cameraman doesn't know where to point the camera. It's too dark. There it is. Nasty in 13th and Run DMC in 14th place. Piscary's lead at the moment is 18 seconds, which is not sufficient for a pit stop over Wask, who will probably have to pit at a similar point. But it's well worth remembering that Wask has had to close in on Piscary from near the back of the grid, outside the top 10, certainly for the race today, as we're running a 24-hour simulation at the 24-hour configuration here at Circuit Spa Francorchamps. There's the cottage on the top of the hill. As we run on, it's VRX shadowing Red up the hill right now onto the Camel Straight they go. VRX will have a tremendous run here in his Peugeot. Not often you can say that, I can tell you. So Red in P3, holding firm on the inside into Lake Calm, but VRX just late on the brakes, anticipated Red's move there, which was to hold up at the apex and not push him wide, but he just went clean around the outside and pointed the car at the second apex of Lake Com. Red down to 4th, 26.5 seconds away from the lead of the race, just 0.6 of a second away here from VRX. Looks like all is working okay with Hector at the moment. Track map, hopefully informative for you, nice and big. there. Might be covering the lap times. I can't be exactly certain. But yeah, hopefully all is a-okay for you. Do let me know, of course, if there are any problems that crop up. Try and give you whatever we can in terms of output here. And we have your predictions as well. We're into the second half of the race. I'd love to hear your predictions. Looks like we've just got a pit stop happening for both Vader and Dirtbag Larry. Very much plan A then for the Obsidian Racing team, who pit on identical laps. Keeping an eye then on where Pat Finn is relative to the lead. 51.8 seconds away from the lead. Was almost knocking on Piscary's rear window. Before the pit stops, Piscary himself has the fastest lap of the race, a 2:18.814. Pat Finn then, P7 at this stage. Bijan in P8. You'll have to believe me that that's Bijan. His headlights do somewhat match his colour scheme, don't they, for Bijan there. As we run on, it's Nicky Lauda in P9, Nasty in P10. Penalty on the car for Nasty. Looks like Nasty's challenge is fading, or has faded at this stage. Dirtbag Larry fighting with Run DMC. I think the headlight view is becoming a little bit problematic, isn't it, at this stage for us to enjoy? Because the GT7 cameras do generally point towards the oncoming cars, and we have very bright headlights there. Now, just to go back to what I was saying, in VR, you get this tunnel vision with the headlights, but of course the headlights don't turn with your head as they wouldn't with the driver's helmet view. So the headlights always point in the direction of a car, which isn't always where your eyes need to be. That your eyes are typically at the next apex and exit at each particular point. So sometimes you are just looking on the very periphery there, for example, of where the track is lit up. It can be really tricky, especially into corners like Rivage, where there's very little ambient lighting. Here is okay. You've got the sort of side lights coming in from the pit lane area. You can already see a lot of those marbles picked up on the circuit. Oh, Michael's got off. Michael off. Why is Michael off, I wonder? That is an unusual one, and it drops him to dead last at this stage. Michael, did he run out of fuel? Oh, no. He runs out of fuel at the halfway point. He didn't refuel when he came in the pit lane. That's what's gone on for Michael. Oh, that is absolutely heartbreaking. I really am very sorry for him indeed. It's so easy to click through menus. You're just used to that. Jailhouse Chris telling me exactly what has gone on. Thanks, Chris. Wask pits on the same lap as Piscary, so we won't see an interruption in the lead of the race. Thump just sympathising there, as is absolutely right to do, because it is certainly very annoying for Michael on his debut. Looks like it's pit stop o'clock here. Everybody at the top in the pit lane. Almost all of them have worn through their fuel. There goes Tequila Monkey. And here is Pat Finn. You're right. It'd be great to just have a sort of back button on the user interface. Absolutely. Because essentially your team is never going to forget to refuel your car, is it? So you can argue over how much fuel you need to put in, but yeah, in an endurance race, your team are not going to let you go without putting the fuel in, even if you make the mistake of selecting the wrong option. There is Michael, who is going to drop virtually a lap down, I think, horribly. This is the endurance racing kind of simulation, though. This is the kind of thing that happens to drivers. Unfortunately, he'll be so happy to be back at the pit lane. I wonder if he can make a change to. Well, he's barely used any tires, so there's no point changing strategy at all there. He might be able to think about a set of hard tires to get home, but I don't think the fuel will get through. Vader has overtaken him twice, says Chris. Thanks for that info. Absolutely. I say I'm trying to operate the engineer view on my phone next to what's going on. It's not happening for me, unfortunately. Pat Finn in P2. I'm having to keep an eye there. VRX8, Tequila Monkey on their way out of the pits. Half the grid are exiting the pits or on their outlaps right now. Piscary in first position by only 2.5 seconds to Pat Finn. It's going to be about stint management here to the end of the race. They will have to stop again. Certainly, Pat Finn has underfueled the car relative there to Piscary, and hasn't pitted as recently. Wask pitted on the same lap. He's gone for his short stint now, the soft tyres, low fuel, and that will then see him to one more pit stop, I anticipate, to then put on the medium tyres to finish the race out with about 8 or 9 to go, I would have thought. Nicky in P5. Actually, it's probably fewer laps than that, isn't it? I would imagine it's lap 6 to go for the soft tyres anyway. I think they only last about those 6 laps. Nicky looks like he's on one fewer pit stops than most here today. Struggling to hang on to the car, I think, for a moment there. Nicky, we'll just ride on board with him, see how the car is handling. The Ferrari 296 in the Katana AI Racing team iteration, of course. Great to have our sponsors with us. We've got Hector Motorsports, we've got Katana AI, we now have Semrad Audio. I promised you a good close-up look at the livery for the new Semrad Audio. There's no point doing it right now, but I will try and do that when we get daybreak. And we have PSV Racing, of course. Check out their channel. I hope you're subscribing to SVR. You're subscribing to my channel, Webbo Red 5, as well as PSV Racing, VR Hot Laps, some of our top streamers here in the league, and Nicky Lauda. The car feeling okay, I think, at the moment. It was just a one-off moment there for him. Beautiful line through there. Nice little upshift, just exiting the curb over Radion. Very, very nice from Nicky. Red in the Tutoro PSV affiliated car. Ahead of Nasty as Vader continues to hunt the drivers down here up front. Nasty, one of the most entertaining drivers to drive casually with. Nasty will have you in fits all the time. A little bit like Yank the Tank. I was absolutely remiss there for not name checking and shouting out Yank the Tank's channel. So I must do that. Follow Yank the Tank and go and watch his race reviews of his Super Formula runs. Nasty ahead of Red. Vader. We've got Austria, USA, Germany, Spain, all racing in close proximity. We have a Finnish driver at the head of the field and a Canadian Finn in P2 as well. Multinational VR Sim Racing World Championship here by SVR. We're on our 2026 racing season. This is round 6 of 12. So we really are starting to see the championship picture start to evolve. Aya versus Wask. I wonder whether Piscary is good enough to actually feature in the championship hunt at the end of the season. Am I getting ahead of myself? Probably. Should I calm down? Most certainly. Will I? No. It's Vader in P8 as he follows in this great battle. Vader now on the hard tyres for the second time as far as my memory serves. He started on the hards, went on to them. I think he's running hard, medium stints, possibly going through to a soft stint at the end. We'll see if he can bring these hards all the way to the end. The driver's Uncle Pants and Red has gone off. That looked like Red had just disconnected for a second there. What is happening with Red? This is just behind of Red. Iconic red strip, tail lights. He just tried to avoid running into the, that was very sporting of Red. Did the right thing there, hit the reset point, unfortunately. So yeah, no disconnection. We've had it before with Red, unfortunately, as Uncle Pants and VRX could try and go side by side on the way into Eau Rouge. I love to see drivers doing this. VRX just gets ahead. Uncle Pants will chase him down, though, with that slipstream as they head up over the top. As Berrigal says, well done, Red. Yeah, definitely, mate. Took avoiding action there. I was just watching the start of the Indy 500. Close your ears if you haven't seen the start yet. One of my drivers that I like to follow, Catherine Legg, because I've met her personally. She went out doing almost the same thing, avoiding action and ended up retiring as a result, rather than T-bone Ryan Hunter-Reay into the side. Only lap 10 of the Indy 500, unfortunately. So that was horrible. Okay, you can uncover your ears now. It is Uncle Pants in P9, VRX in P8, Red in P10. Let me know if you're keeping one eye on the Indy 500, who your favorite drivers are, who you are actually cheering on. I don't watch a lot of Indy cars, but I do try and follow the 500 if I can. Nicky in P5 here. He is 29 seconds off the lead. He's 6 seconds from Bijan in front, 8.9 away from Nasty in P6. Oh, nice. Okay, thanks, Yank. Good to hear. Shout out to Yank's channel viewers as well. If you're broadcasting this through, you probably aren't, but all the same. Here comes the sun. Do. Thanks, Thump. I've already had a Beatles song in my head all week after seeing just a picture of Paul McCartney on the Stephen Colbert show singing Hello Goodbye. So that's been in my head all week. So now we're going to switch that on to switch that over to Here Comes the Sun. So thanks very much. Nasty in 6th, Vader in 7th, VRX in the background there ahead of Uncle Pants, and then the German Red Baron heading through La Source now. Here we come. Yeah, don't Webbo and drive. I've been blamed for many things in my time, many crashes and all sorts. One of the worst excuses for crashing I ever heard was I was keeping my eye on the football to the right of my driving screen. I have not pushed us into that yet. Here we go. This is a look at this all new livery. Then this is the refined sound Semrad audio. Absolutely remarkable wooden speakers you can buy from Semrad Audio. Thank you to Top Hat for adding a brand new Webbo commentary Willy Wonka style sticker there into the GT7 pot and a grid lab for the new venture for Brum. I don't know what Akagashira GT is in reference to. You're going to tell me that that's a really famous streamer, aren't you? But this is the new livery for Semrad Audio, and welcome to SVR, Semrad. 7.4 seconds away from Piscary currently is the lead Semrad Audio driver. That's Pat Finn right now, as Wask is just 18.7 seconds away from the lead. He's on that sprint, a sprint run there on the soft tires, which we saw Finn do earlier on. No, Thump, it wasn't. This was before the days of VR, the SVR commentary. It was back when I was doing F1 22 or 21, something like that. Driver had set up his favorite football team match while we had a league race. Vader challenging now. Nasty. Vader has been playing the Imperial Death March out of the front speaker on his BMW M4. And behind these two, Bijan and VRX battle. Behind those two, we've got Uncle Pants and Red. Not bad for lap 22, is it, in terms of action? Fabulous to see. Dirtbag Larry in 12th at the moment, Run DMC in 13th, and Michael in 14th after the fuel snafu. He didn't overfuel on his way out, hasn't overreacted, I have to say. Piscary leading, heading down the hill into Rivage Corner now. Pat Finn just coming out of Malmedy, and Wask heading through Les Combes. Then there's the length of the Kemmel Straight separating third and fourth, some 23 seconds. Absolutely incredible. Hi to Oscar as well, who joins us to cheer on Uncle Tequila Monkey. There is Vader now in P5 after the pit stop. Thump saying Piscary now gaining speed at this point. Vader with the fastest first sector of the race so far on used hard tires. Yes, a little bit of a slipstream on the back of that Porsche, but that is quite something. Lower on fuel at this stage. We might see Vader on softs. He is 42.8 seconds away from Piscary. I think both cars have an extra pit stop left to make. So I hope my pronunciation, by the way, of Piscary is okay. I never actually checked. But similar to our other Finnish driver, Beragos, Piscary, a man of few words when it comes to DMs. So Red overtook Uncle. Oh, thanks for that, Rents. I think that might have happened too long ago. It did, unfortunately. But yeah, thank you so much for the info. Red up to P7. Looks like Uncle Pants has lost out in a big way. Running low on fuel, late on the hard tyres. Probably under-fueled for these hard tyres, but he may well be just minimizing the amount of time on those hard tyres. I don't think I've ever noticed that red-fronted building in Spa before. The things that happen when you're doing long races. Pat Finn is in. Wask is in too. With 9 laps to go. I imagine that is medium tyre territory, not softs, before the end of the race. Wask will not use those again. And we'll see then. Here is Tequila Monkey chasing down Uncle Pants. Shape to the outside, shape to the inside. Uncle Pants says, do what you like. I'm in the middle. Into the bus stop. And I don't know if he had the blinkers on there, but hey ho. Uncle Pants. It's not like he's driving a BMW that aren't fitted with them. Dirtbag Larry comes in. Nicky follows through here. He's just made his pit stop, his last pit stop. He's 1 minute 27 away from the lead. Peace Curry slasher, if you want to translate it, is Piscary. I understand Piscary, but where's the slasher coming in, Beragos? Is that a... I don't know. Help me out, Beragos. But I like it. None the same. Like Beragos, your name isn't Slasher, is it? I don't know. You have to use a few more words for me, Beragos. And bonus points if you use the word bois in your answers at the start. Piscary leads 45.9 seconds. He's just lapped one of the Peugeots out there. As Thump says, Vader up to P2. Actually, it's VRX at the moment, but Vader is close to P2. Vader's in P3 right now, but he has still got a pit stop to make. That fuel's not going to get him home, but I'm excited to think that perhaps Vader will be on soft tyres at the end of the race here, the 77. Piscary, though, will go a bit deeper into this race. Might get away with a set of softs at the end. Certainly not heading in now. That's Run DMC at the back of the grid in the Peugeot. Got VRX in the Peugeot in P2. Doesn't the Argento colour scheme look glorious in this Belgian morning sunshine? Absolutely astonishingly good looking car. So let's go and have a nice close look at that beautiful sun glinting off the front there and you can see the clouds in the sky as well. Are we going to avoid rain? Where are my weather people in the chat who are in the team radio? How can we do 24 hours at Spa and not end up with rain at any point? Thump says no. Wait. So Piscary means slasher finish, so it doesn't mean peace curry. That's an autocorrect, is it? Nice. Okay. Vader into the pit lane then. Pat Finn in sixth has pitted, and he's out in sixth place now, so he's got a fresh tank of fuel. You go away for 5 minutes, says Oscar, and Tequila's in fifth. We do have a pit stop difference at the moment, but he's got a very dirty windscreen. Needs to hit those wipers on for a quick cycle. They might drag a bunch of Belgian dead flies across the windshield. Pat Finn in fifth. He's 1 minute and 3 away from Piscary. Don't forget, though, Piscary to make another pit stop. Yank says it's raining in Boston. Thanks, Yank. I didn't know you ever went outside, Yank. So the flies on the windshield for Pat Finn are not coming through on his screen. That's disappointing, GT7. Definitely want to see a bit of obscured view there. Wask in sixth. He is 7.7 seconds away from his teammate. And I think Finn would be overjoyed at the chance to beat Wask in a relatively straight fight. They didn't qualify today. They started in reverse order. But there you can see, I think we've added a little touch of green on the end plate as well. Chris saying it's so hot here. You're down south, aren't you? It's warm where I am. but it's not terrible where I am in the northeast of the UK. I think we're due our very hot day tomorrow. So you'll be glad I'm not commentating for that one. I would probably have difficulty saying anything else other than how hot it is. It is nasty in P8. Coming through. Vader in 9th. Jann in 10th place right now in the Ferrari 296 Katana AA Racing Team colours. Don't know if everyone has seen this new livery. It's only its second race outing here. This is the number 89. Really nice combination. I would not have put these two colours together, but I love them. I think it's great. It's cold up north, 30 in London. Yeah, it's, what is it, about 22, 23 today? That's warm by my stretch of the imagination. It's probably as warm as I ever want it, quite frankly. Piscary in 2nd in the pits. Red in 3rd, also in the pits. VRX leads our race for, well, a short period anyway. Might use the soft tyres at the end. Oh, Piscary's going to beat him up the hill, is he? Let's see, VRX. This is his view of it. Well, certainly VRX will get by here. So very nicely done. As Piscary is in P2, medium tyres. He's not brave enough to go for the softs. Perhaps that's sensible when you're defending a very large lead of the race. 20, well, it's down to now 16 seconds there for Piscary to Finn. VRX will pit again. Finn Wask will not. Wask is 23.5 seconds away from VRX. He is about 21 seconds away from Piscary. So Piscary is just basically driving against himself here at the moment. Doesn't need to pass VRX. There's no threat from behind, but I don't think he will heed that warning right now. Oscar cheering on Azul still, which is good to see. No longer in 5th position, though, unfortunately. As we push on then in towards the Lefania right-left chicane. Kind of chicane. It's quite long, isn't it, for a chicane? But still, Piscary looking for the inside line against VRX, who just gives it to him, does he? Well, VRX tapped him in the rear on his way through. I think he put his right indicator on as well. I think I'm seeing that correctly. So he is headed into the pit lane this time. But unfortunately, heading into a corner like Stavolo, you put your right indicator on, the driver might think following you that you're inviting them to take the inside. So maybe that was what happened just now. It is Piscary in the lead of the race then. That's the genuine lead of the race. 21.5 seconds further back is Wask, who's got his medium tyres up to temperature right now. Apologies for what's happening on the Hector layout. I think it's just reacting to something going on with Dirtbagger Larry. Larry is not in the lead of this race. He's got a transponder issue, it seems. So Dirtbagger Larry, I believe, is in 12th. So I'm sorry to any Obsidian Larry fans. That is not where he is. Medium tyres, Vader. He didn't go for the soft tyres. In fact, that Hector display is annoying the hell out of me right now. I'm sorry, folks, if it's annoying you too. We've got Nasty in that 6th place. Vader following. These guys have been fighting for some time right now. And the clouds seem to have regathered here. It would have been nice to have some rain during the nighttime period. Vader trying his best here. Nasty not making it easy. Vader on that difficult situation where you're a reserve driver with prodigious speed, but not wanting to hurt anybody's genuine championship point finishes. So you've got to be that little bit extra clean, a little bit like debuting at a new league. Don't want to be going into a brand new league and crashing people out. So far, our debutants this season have been fantastic in terms of racecraft. Very welcome additions to our league. If you do want to get involved casually at this stage or as a reserve driver, head to svr-racing.com. When we're saying the M4 is, it's the M6, sorry, it's the M6, is awful. Kill the overlay, says Beragos. 10-4, Beragos, 10-4, we'll do it. There you go. So you can now see exactly who I'm displaying anyway. It's Vader in 6th, Nasty in P7, Vader around the outside into Rivage corner and making his way by. Then Vader, I think he will then start to check out here, but it was a hard worked move, and he got a little bit sideways out of Les Comps into Malmedy. Looking for the inside line here, but Vader just giving that inside line and going for the late apex around Rivage. Nasty in 7th, Red, not far away, but some 50.6 seconds from the overall lead. Tequila Monkey is in 9th for Azul. Bijan is 10th for Katana. Uncle Pants had the pole position. I think that he will be pretty disappointed if he comes home in P10 or 11 after getting the pole there. Dirtbag Larry is in 12th place. Run DMC in 13th. And Michael at the tail of the field, 3 minutes 53 behind the leader due to running out of fuel mid-stint. Here comes Piscary. Over the top then. It could well be that Michael was not used to the fuel rate on this race and our settings that we run. 14.1 seconds, going for a new fastest lap of the race is Piscary. He's already got the fastest, the 2:18.814. This one looks to be a lap that he's going to try and go even better than that. VRX in the pit lane. He's got passed by Nicky Lauda. Fuel was just going into VRX. 58 litres to finish the race for 4 laps. That's a lot of fuel for VRX. But you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong with that one. But that does feel like quite a lot. Let's hang with Piscary then as he goes for a new fastest lap of the race. Now downshift through Pouhon. Beautiful sounding Porsche. Straight cut gears, of course, on the Porsche as well. Oh, we are right on the edge here, riding with Piscary. How's this sector looking? Bit of oversteer mid-corner. It's faster still again. He's still on it, and he had a good Stavolo exit as well. No slipstream to use. Don't believe that dash either. The ABS won't be on 5 for him. Does Nicky have to pit again? If not, a great result for him. Nicky's been running the tortoise strategy today, Bummy. So we'll check in with him in a moment. Just want to see this fastest lap, all the details of it for Piscary. There it is. Another fastest lap, 7:97 after a 2:18. Where is Nicky then right now? Nicky has, it looks to me like fuel and tyres to get him home. He's had to take this one steadily. You've got to believe in the process and allow drivers to pass you, even though you'd rather not. Apologies for the very bright exposure right now, but that is so that we got the nighttime running as well as possible. Nicky is in a great position, Dummy. Absolutely right. Here is Vader. He's got 4 laps. He's running a more aggressive strategy than Nicky, and Vader will be trying to reel him in. 4 laps to go, 5 seconds, the gap in front, and it's anyone's behind Vader. We've got Nasty in 6th, VRX in 7th, Red in 8th, Tequila Monkey on the tail end of this charge as well. But at the front of the grid, it's still Piscary, Patfin, and Wask. And then we have Nicky, who'll be trying to hold off Vader to the end of the race. I imagine Vader will be on his tail, if not challenging before the very end. Lap 29 of the 32 here. VRX with that blinker still on, but that's very easily left on by our drivers. If you don't have a dash display that shows it in the cockpit, you have no idea that it's still on in VR. So that is the situation for him. You can't see the display that we've got at the bottom of the screen, the overlay down there. Chris saying Nicky's tyres could be an issue. Absolutely, anybody's tyres could be an issue, but certainly he is trying to make this work. They are looking close to dead. And of course, the more he focuses on that, the slower he goes. The closer Vader gets. But Vader is now 5.7. I think he had a slight problem on that on those last sector. So Vader has a bit of lag on the car again, I think, today. There is Nasty fighting VRX, trying to hold off VRX in the Argento. Bright chrome silver car, Peugeot RCZ. As Red with his Tortoro teeth at the front of the grid. Chris saying Vader went wide at Les Camps. Okay, thank you. That might serve Nicky very well if that's the situation. Let's just check in with Pat Finn and Wask. Finn is 16.6 away from Piscary, but in a very safe position at the moment from his teammate Wask, who exits the final corner bus stop there and puts in his lap to 20.141. Nicky Lauda comes through, and he is 23 seconds away from the podium. The podium drivers today have been far and away in another league as VRX goes to the outside of Nasty, defending hard. VRX running outside. This can work because you get that second apex early, but it's very tight. Red nibbles away at the diffuser of the Peugeot, and that steals all of VRX's momentum. Might have another go on the way into La Source here, or be content to sit back. Red has just eased off. Unfortunately, making contact with the car in front tends to propel them forwards and you backwards relative to them. So let's have a look from the perspective of Red as we power on into Eau Rouge and over Radion. Oscar says, "Where's knocking?" That sounds like a riddle of some sort, Oscar. Tequila, are you trying to type? I don't know. Here comes Red then. What a great run from Red. That's all of his Spa experiences he comes through. I'm trying to figure out what it says on the back there. Number 9, Sabatan. Rents, can you help me out? What does it say on the back of Red's car there? On the back, it looks like it says Sabatan. So I'm not sure what that's reference to. Yeah, ping pong physics. I see what you mean. Yeah, absolutely. Red then P7, VRX P8, Tequila Monkey in 9th, Uncle Pants in 10th. This is where the competition is at the moment. It's lap 30 of 32 here at Spa-Francorchamps. We're 1 hour, 13 minutes so far. No idea, says Reds. No, fair enough. Okay. We do have a slight worry that the G2 race will be over the sharing allowance for our replay. So we'll do it. You think it might say Saturday? Sabado in Spanish? Samstag in German? Samedi in French? None of those seem to work for me. Tequila Monkey in 9th. Uncle Pants there in 10th place. We've got Bijan slowing down with a penalty. Dirtbag Larry gets by. Then it says Saturday Giant. It's a metalhead. Oh, okay. Sabaton is a metal band as well. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you, Renz. It was Sabaton. It was in a Gothic font, so it was probably going to be metal of the Northern European variety. And so it proved to be. 17.9 seconds is Piscary's lead over Pat Finn. 6.4 is Pat Finn's second position over Wask. Nicky Lauda is 2.6 seconds away from Vader, who is running 220.5 to Nicky Lauda's 222.3. Oh, that's going to be horrible for Nicky, who's put an amazing run here. Rent says it would fit his taste. And Berriger says, first Victoria. First... what? I'm sorry, Pericos. I just don't know today. Nasty in 6th, Red in 7th, VRX in 8th position. Behind him, Tequila Monkey. And these 3 cars continue to battle on for the end of the race. Then, lap 31 of the 32 for the midfield, at least. Piscary will not have started his final lap just yet, but he's getting close. No, he has, I think, started his final lap. Oh, right. Okay. Why don't I know about Sabaton's best? I guess that's some homework for me. Here comes Piscary then to start his final lap of the race. You can see how far away Pat Finn and Wask are on the track map. Then comes Niki Lauda, who is now just 2.6 seconds away from Vader, who hasn't caught him at all in the last 2 sectors, which I'm kind of confused by. But Vader is pushing very, very much, very hard, I should say. Beragos, while I've got you, what did you make of Vader being unable to catch you throughout the course of the Barcelona race? Did that feel good when you watched it back, or went through the data? Probably implanted the data into your brain implant, I would have thought, is probably the more likely way of you ingesting race results. Piscary, Finn, Wask at the head of the field. These drivers, though, fighting hard over 6th, 7th, 8th positions. Red to the outside of Nasty. He'll have to try and take that narrow run. You really have to switch back into the bus stop as VRX demonstrates to absolute perfection. VRX up to P7. They'll continue fighting. I'll try and catch that in the replay buffer and come through. As we go, Red to the outside through last source. He knows how to retaliate on the way through. But check out this switch back from VRX. We're going to have to cut back to the leaders shortly. Red on the narrow line, Nasty leaning on him on the way into the second corner, and then VRX timing that one beautifully. Fabulous run from him. Let's go back to the lead of the race. Piscary is in Lefania. Niki is 1.4 from Vader. He'll have nothing to fight with. Niki. He's actually drifting through Lake Com right now. It's very uncomfortable for Niki fans out there. Piscary exits Stavolo and heads towards Blanchimont corner. Back to Niki for a few seconds anyway. Vader getting a little bit squirrely on the exit of the corner there, on the exit out of Malmedy. I don't think Vader is quite going to be there in time. Here comes Piscary, though. Wask had 3 races winning on the trot through rounds 2 through 5, but two through 4, rounds 5 and 6 belong to Piscary, who wins in Spa after a win in Laguna Seca. A tremendous ride there from Pat Finn. And you've got an idea of just the elevation change on that camera angle. Try and capture it again on the way as we look back down the start-finish straight. You can actually see the cars coming through up the mountain. Here comes Pat Finn then to take a fantastic P2 for him. I think that might be best result of the season. There, look up the hill. You can see the red and white, the red and yellow walls. It's Wascombe in P3. Another fantastic result from him, from starting near the back of the grid with the reverse grid start for today's race. As we head down in towards the bus stop, Niki is ahead of Vader. Don't get it wrong here, Niki. Everybody crossing their fingers for Niki Lauda as he exits the final corner. Niki takes home P4 at Spa ahead of Vader. And then as they come through drag race finish to the line, it's going to be Nasty home in P6, Red in 7th, VRX in 8th, quickly followed by Tequila Monkey in P9. And then it's Uncle Pants fighting with Dirtbag Larry, who will not take the position in that manner, I'm sure. Dirtbag Larry will, no, he will, in fact. Larry, proving me wrong live on comms there. Thank you, Larry. At least he didn't take the position after the contact. He went round the outside, tried the cutback. Uncle Pants parking in the apex. Larry said, I'm waiting. Okay, you've had enough now. I'm gone. Hits the loud pedal. Uncle Pants has no tyres at all. And Dirtbag Larry takes home the P10 in the end. Bijan home in 12th. Run DMC home in 13th position. Michael in 14th. But today's race belongs to Piscary Finn and Wask. Welcome, Samrad Audio, and a continued welcome to Piscary. Unfortunately, drivers are going to not like this anymore, Piscary. You're going to be target number 1. Wask will resume leading the championship on the end of here. Chris saying, bidding for Larry for driver of the day after being murdered in lap 1. I think Niki's in with a good shout. Drop your justifications for our driver of the day right now in the chat, and I will consider my opinion for whatever that counts for. Here is then the provisional result then of the race. Fastest lap went by way of Piscary, who was given the front row start thanks to being at the back of the championship, starting with us only 1 race ago. But Piscary winning 2 races on the bounce, a 1 hour 17 race overall. Pat Finn in second, and Wask in P3 makes sure that the Maple Leafs are waved on the podium. And Pat Finn, I think, will be very happy with that result. Niki Lauda in P4 and Vader Home in P5, just 0.4 of a second away in the end. Congratulations, though, Niki, for holding off Vader from the very back of the grid to P5 was a fabulous run. Nasty in 6th, Red in 7th, and VRX in 8th. We've got Skinner Monkey in 9th, Larry in 10th, Uncle Pants in 11th, Bijan, Run DMC, and Michael. Rent says Red for not killing Nasty today. I'm not going to give Drive of the Day for not killing people. My standards are a little bit higher than that. Rents. No, I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to give you another 5 seconds, and then I'm going to make my decision for Drive of the Day. I think I'm just going to check in with the with the best results of the season so far. I mean, Pat Finn's best so far has been a P8. Niki Lauda has got on the podium. Niki put in a very solid run today. I'm going to be accused of favoritism because he's my ex-teammate, but I am going to have to say that I'm going to go with Niki. So I'm going to go with Renz, and I'm going to go with Dummy and Beregas as well. But yes, Niki, sorry, Pat, you come a very close second. So congratulations, Piskery, Finn, and Wask, Niki, Vader, and Nasty for the top 6 finish. Thank you, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know the feedback if you wouldn't mind just having a look at the alternate stream, because I'm using a different microphone, my new headset, and you'll be able to directly compare the 2 sound effects as well. So a big thank you to you all for taking part in the chat today. Make sure you hit something positive on the video underneath the video today, if you would be so kind. But from me, Webbo, from us here at SVR, thank you so much for watching. Look out for the G2 race later in the week, and we will catch you on the next race day.